Good morning, gang. Today is Wednesday, May 27th. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. We're going to jump right into our country of the day. Our country of the day is America's hat, our friendly neighbors to the north, Canada, eh? So a little bit about Canada. Normally we'd spend a little bit more time on it, but we didn't get to them this year, so we're just going to talk briefly about Canada. Here's what you need to know. It is the second largest country in the world, only behind Russia. It's also the largest country in the world that shares a border with only one other country, that being the United States, which coincidentally, our border is the largest unprotected border in the world, between two countries. It has a lot of varied climates, just like the United States. But by far and away, I've had the chance to visit Canada a couple of times. Most notably, a few summers ago, I went to Vancouver. If I didn't live in Minnesota and I could move anywhere in the world, Vancouver might be the spot. It's got the ocean, as in the Pacific. It's got beautiful, gorgeous weather, and it's got mountains. I mean, just look at some of these pictures. You can see the pictures there. That is called a glacial lake up in Joffre National Park, or Joffre Provincial Park, rather, up in Canada. And look at that pretty blue-green water, as you kids say, hashtag no filter. That's how the water actually looks. Just simply mind-blowing. Just gorgeous, gorgeous country. If you ever get the chance to go to Vancouver, please go. Anyway, also about Canadians, they're considered culturally very similar to that of the United States, but they like to think of themselves as a little more community-oriented, a little less aggressive, a little less materialistic. They tend to think of Americans as maybe a little more aggressive, a little more materialistic. Not sure I disagree with them. They might have a point. They're also stereotyped to be overly polite. There's a joke about how, a Canadian runs into someone in the store and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they're known for apologizing, eh? Also, Canadians are very enlightened when it comes to their money. That is, they got rid of the penny a few years back. Yeah, no pennies in Canada. If you want to know why you should get rid of the penny, look it up on YouTube about getting rid of the penny. It's worth it. Down with the pennies. Their $1 coin, by the way, they have a little $1 coin. It's got a loon on it, just like our state bird here in Minnesota, and so it's called the loonie. And in fact, that's kind of their nickname for their currency. Instead of dollars, sometimes they call them loonies. Anyway, enough about Canada. We can go on and on, because today, gang, Mr. Help, yes, our friend Mr. Help, who has been with us all year, he is calling on you. We're in the home stretch here, and Mr. Help needs your help to save the world. No small task. Today, you're going to be starting kind of your final project for the year. This is your final assessment. It's your final summative assessment. It's your last big thing we're working on. We've got about 4 days to get it done. And you might be doing the math and going, "But Mr. Canton, we've got 7 days left in the year." Yeah, that's right. We do have 7 days left in the year. More on that in a second. But you got about 4 days to get this project done. It's starting today. You can work at your own pace. If you want to work ahead a little bit, please do. If you want to slow down a little bit, please do. But I wouldn't wait until the very end on everything. That would be a terrible choice, because then you're going to be stressed. And then next week on your B's and T's, you're going to be like, "I'm super stressed because I put this project off to the last minute and it's a lot of work." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I know it's a lot of work. We spent a lot of time putting it together. We get it." But that's why you got 4 days. But that said, it should be a lot of enjoyable work, because like I said, Mr. Help needs you. And what you're basically doing is you are creating a superhero to save the world. So I just want to explain a couple of things. All of the directions are in the set of slides linked out in Google Classroom. Please take the time to review them in depth before you dive in. There's a lot of good nuggets of info in there. I will be putting together a screencast a little bit later today that kind of goes through it in a little bit more detail as well. But just right now, just a couple of things that I want to say about that project. Today, you're going to be picking a country. There's a big old spreadsheet that each hour has with roughly 196, give or take, countries from around the world. You can't do the United States, and you can't do Australia. Any other country is fair game, unless one of your classmates already claimed it. That's right. You're going to open up that spreadsheet. First come, first served. You're going to type your name next to the country you want. Once a name is filled into that box, that country is claimed. It is off limits. You cannot pick that country because someone else already picked it. But don't worry. Like I said, there's like nearly 200. You'll find one. No country is easier or harder than the others. Also, you can't do a country that you've already picked this year. So for example, your European vacation country, can't do that one. Whatever you did your 5 themes children's book on, can't do that one. Your Amazing Race, whatever country that you've done a project on already this year, you cannot pick for this project. So again, we're going to expand your mind. But today, basically, you're picking a country, and then you're going to just look up a little bit of info on them. Remember way back at the beginning of the year when our main man Hans taught us all about the levels of income around the world? You're going to be calling back to that. There's some stuff out there to help you review those 4 levels. If you're like, "Oh, what's life like at a level 1 country compared to a level 4? There's some resources out there to help you. But basically, you're just going to be doing a little bit of info and trying to figure out what is life like in your country based on its income level. That's today. Then tomorrow, you're going to learn a little bit more about something called the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. There's There's some sick fat beats from Flowcab. I don't know why I said that. That was terrible. But there's a little song from Flowcab out there to give you an overview on the goals. And then you're going to say, I wonder what goal my country needs to work towards. And that's going to basically be your enemy that your superhero is going to fight for. Maybe it is gender inequality. Maybe it is life in the water. Maybe it's climate. Maybe it's having good jobs for everyone. Maybe it's inequality. Whatever it is, there's 17 different sustainable development goals. You're going to identify the one common enemy, the one goal that your superhero is going to fight for. And in order to do that, you're going to start picking your superhero's superpowers, because after all, if a superhero doesn't have superpowers, it's just a hero, and we need a superhero to save the world. And so you're going to do that on day 2. Then day 3 is probably my favorite day. Day 3 and 4 are my favorite days of the whole project, because the first 2 days are just getting kind of the nuts and bolts out of the way. And then day 3, you design your superhero from scratch. That's right. You're going to first do a little bit of research on your country's culture, because your superhero should have elements of your country's culture within the superhero, right? You know, you've got like, Mozambique man, or, I don't know. I'm blanking on that. But basically, you are going to do a little research on your country's culture, and then you're going to design your superhero. That's all laid out in day 3. That one will be a fun one. There is a paper version you can do, or there's also digital versions. If you're like me and artistically challenged, you can do it all online. Design their costume and accessories and all of that good stuff. And then on day 4, you got to create their origin story and just write a little blurb about how they're going to use their powers to fight for whatever sustainable development goal you have chosen to fight for within your country. And then you're going to be just doing a couple other little wrap-up nuts and bolts things. But basically, the main idea, again, is this. You're going to pick a country. You do a little research on that country. You're going to figure out what that country needs. Like, what sustainable development goal does it need to work towards? And then you're going to create a superhero to do that. That's basically what you're going to be doing. Now, I know some of you might be going, well, Mr. Canton, we already did like a superhero project in science earlier this year about elements. Yeah, you did. The science department said, hey, that superhero project that you guys do every year, we think that's really awesome. Can we borrow it? And we said, sure, you can borrow it. So yeah, you're doing something a little bit similar, but just know that we were the OG idea with that. Don't tell, or do tell. I don't care. Point is, with this project, we want you to have fun. Seriously, this is like it. This is your last big thing. Dive into it. Have fun with it. Be creative. Be big. Be crazy. Be wild. Be super. Learn a little bit more about a country. Learn a little bit more about the world and how we can, impact positive change, and then create that superhero for it. That's going to be over the course of the next 4-ish days. The final 3 days of the year aren't really going to be doing much of anything in terms of new content. We're going to kind of ease off the gas as we kind of bring things to a close. Speaking of which, your second journal question for today, how would you like to close out the year? Normally we do stuff together in the classroom, which we obviously can't do. I joked at the beginning of the year that I want us to, get along with one another, to tolerate one another, to be kind with one another. And I kind of joked, I was like, hey, and who knows, maybe by the end of the year, we'll all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. And we all laughed. We're like, oh, we're going to totally do that. Yeah, joke's on us. We're not going to totally do that, because holding hands right now would be, a really kind of disastrous kind of outcome. Seemed like the right time for the tiny hands. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I know we went a little long today. That's because I just really wanted to review that superhero project, because journal question number 1 basically asks you what you need to do over the course of the next 4-ish days. If you have any questions, you know the drill. Reach out. Send me a message in classroom. Send me an email. Whatever you got to do, reach out and let me know. And really today, review the directions, pick your country, and start in on the project. Maybe work a little ahead today. I don't know. You do you. Last couple things. Get out and run the 5K. Yeah, do it one day this week. I did mine on Monday in the rain. There you can see Nora and I. We ran our 5K. We actually ran. We're going to run again later today and a couple other days this week. But get out and run the 5K. Don't forget to watch the nightly news. I hope you are doing well. What the heck? Oh. Little clip in the hair. Yeah, it's getting long. My daughter recommended I wear that this morning, I guess. Anyway, that's all I got. Remember, be bold, be kind, and make good choices. See ya.